I'm Tania Gustafson, award-winning nutritionist, behavior specialist, and certified mental wellness coach on a mission to help midlife women move from barely surviving to thriving. You have been lied to. Weight gain, mood swings, hot flashes, brain fog, despite what the world and even your doctor may have told you, do not have to be your story. You are not broken. You've just never been shown how to fuel your body in a way that creates hormonal balance. Fit Woman Podcast is where we expose the lies and share all things to help women take back control of their health, hormones, weight, and mental wellness and thrive through midlife. I'm so glad you're here. Hello there and welcome back to the Fit Woman Podcast, where we explore all things to help women fuel their bodies, ignite their metabolism and their mind to thrive through midlife. I am Tania Gustafson, your host, and today I'm excited to chat with a woman who has her very own health story that led her to becoming a board-certified doctor of natural medicine. She's also board-certified health and wellness coach, certified lifestyle coach, and she's pursued training in electrodermal screening, which I'd like to hear more about. She's a speaker, a mom of 5, like seriously, that's a full house right there. And just a blessing and a breath of fresh air to her parents or her patients. I am thrilled to welcome Rachel Borntrager to the show today. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. I am so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for making the time. I know that with your clinical practice and everything, it's a little bit of a juggling act trying to get you doctors and medical people on here.
It's a lovely time.
Right? At least it's Friday. We're at the end of the week. Hopefully that's the end of your week too, right? When we're recording this.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So give people a little snapshot of what's your demographic? What do you actually do with your clinical practice there that you have? And where are you located? You are in?
I'm in Plentywood, Montana, but that does not stop people from getting my services. So anyone, honestly, I've had people from all over the United States come to me because they hear about me, have heard people get great benefit from what I do, and they are willing to travel. So electrodermal screening is where you find where your body's balanced, out of balance, and then using customized nutrition to bring it into balance. Okay. And then with that, it comes, what is causing the imbalance? So finding that root issues, there could be multiple, and helping them get rid of the imbalances, bring their body into balance using the nutrition. And when I say you don't have to be necessarily local. I have people that are from other states that choose not to travel here, but want the services. So they'll send me samples, may it be hair or saliva, or there's other options. And then we do the electrodermal screening with that, customize the nutrition for that, and then have a plan. And then there's conversations, there's all sorts of things. But and then on the next level, if someone wants to do an intensive of doing a retreat for themselves, they can choose a 3 or 5 day, and then they can come and get all the services, be in person, have all the things. So from not just electrodermal screening, but also, sorry, I'm losing my words. Okay. Molecular activation, whole body red light, deep lymphatic. We have foot detox. We have sauna.
Wow. So you really have the whole ball of wax there, really.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty fun.
It sounds amazing. So who do you normally serve? What's your niche? Your demographic?
I started out with serving busy moms that want to have energy and just enjoy life. Right. But as I have expanded, then there's these men that are like, hey, I see my wife getting better, and can you help me with the X, Y, or Z? And then I have those families then bringing their children, and it's such a amazing experience to see people thriving and having energy to do the things that they want to do. Go on those bike rides, go on those hiking trips, go on those vacations, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. And isn't that just amazing that we have to think that those are things that people now have to aspire to do? It's not just a natural thing anymore that we are fit and healthy and we can do all of these things X, Y, Z. But now there's a laundry list of things that often we need help with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in the States, I'm in Canada, and we're pretty close in the whole, we're not the greatest level of health that we've ever been, I think we're at the worst level of health we've ever been. It's been predicted that our children will not live as long as us, which is really, really sad. So
That's scary stuff.
it's a scary statistic, and it doesn't have to be, right? And so I just love what you're doing there. And so how long have you been doing this? How long have you been helping people? It started with busy moms, and then it just kind of morphed, right?
Yeah. So I started in 2020. Actually, it was 2018. I started health coaching. And then in 2020, things kind of pivoted. Not just the world in itself, but a situation for me was my nephew at that time had an anaphylactic reaction, and it was super scary. And they met the ambulance and epied him on the road, and after medical doctor after medical doctor, and not getting the benefit, not getting answer or questions answered, we went a different route. And I say we because it's my sister and I went with her. And we had a 2-hour appointment with a doctor that does electrodermal screening. 6 hours later, he finally asked me, he's like, "What exactly do you do?" And I was like, first of all, I probably asked too many questions. And from that moment on, I just was deep into it. I was like, this fascinates me because we can find the answers of why. Just continuing to go down that rabbit hole of like, what's going on? Why is this going on? Right. And on and on.
And so I just want to just come back to when you said you asked too many questions. I don't think people ask enough questions. Honestly, if it has to do with your health, your life, your quality of your life, and the of your loved ones as well, we should be asking those questions, and we shouldn't be afraid to ask the questions. I've had clients who have been afraid to ask their doctor for something, or let them know that they want to try a natural product or something because they're really afraid they won't let them. And I'm just like, I think you need to be asking more questions, And so when you were that dedicated aunt, I mean, your sister, I bet she's just so thankful that you were there and putting all these things into place to help your nephew, that we need to ask the questions. And so how is your nephew doing now? I got to ask.
He's doing amazing. He's thriving, and he's just got a special place in my heart.
How old was he when that happened?
He was 14 months.
Oh my gosh, that's even scarier because they're babies.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And so he would be that's 7 years ago now. So he's 8.5. Oh
he's ornery. He's very ornery. And it's like so exciting to see that because he was very frail and we just didn't know. Right. And to see him thriving is just such a blessing.
That is awesome. And so was it that particular moment that you got into electrodermal, and how did all that happen?
Yep, that's exactly what happened. So from health coaching, it pivoted. And I was still doing health coaching and working in radiology. So my first career is in radiology, and I feel like I would never regret that because I learned so much about the body. But then turning that information into supporting what I do now. So yes, it was just an ongoing learning thing. Lots of online classing time, a lot of in-person and driving time.
Wasn't that great? Okay, so before we get back into today's episode, I want to share something that I know will change your life for the better, like it did mine. If you're over 40, feeling like your body just does not respond the way it used to, your metabolism feels stuck and your energy is not what it once was, and the scale keeps creeping up no matter how good you try and eat, you need to hear this, okay? You are not broken, and this is not your fault. Your hormones, blood sugar, and yes, even inflammation are all playing a role in what's happening with your body right now. But there is a method that actually works with your midlife physiology instead of against it, okay? So I want to invite you to watch my free training video where I break down the FIT method, how to fuel your body, ignite your metabolism, and help you thrive through midlife without the dieting, without the deprivation, or the burnout. In this video, I'll walk you through why your metabolism feels like it's stuck in airplane mode, why cutting calories and doing that extra cardio is not the answer, and how to stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support your hormones so that you can have real sustainable results that stick. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, and definitely no diets. And once you've watched, if it resonates with you and you're ready to say, I'm worth it, because you are, go ahead, complete that questionnaire and book your consult with me to talk through your plan and set a strategy for your body and your goals. What are you waiting for? Head on over to fuelignitethrive.com or click the link in the show notes, watch a free training, book your call, and together we can make midlife the best time of your life. It's time, and you are worth it.
All right, so you started with moms, and I'm assuming that women are probably the largest demographic in your practice.
Yep.
Women
That's
and
definitely probably the largest. And then it's what I like to see is these women are feeling better. They're having more energy. Then their husbands are like, I don't know what you're doing, but I feel like I need help with whatever. And then, the couple is on such a deeper level, then they're like, oh, paying maybe more attention or not, or just seeing that their child is needing support. And then, can you help my child? And, it's so amazing to see families thriving.
Absolutely. And so what have you seen over the years, over these last 6-7 years? I mean, COVID was a big shift in health for sure, but what have you seen has shifted with the way people are maybe thinking about their health? Like, I think maybe more people are more open to something like what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I feel like COVID definitely allowed people to be more open, to ask more questions, and then to, do a self-assessment of like, what is it that's going on in my life, or what can I do different, or what do I really even want? And we're on this hamster wheel, and it's like, we need to jump off, or we're going to keep doing the same thing over and over.
Exactly. Oh yeah, the hamster wheel has got to slow down. You got to jump off. Okay, so you have your own health journey. So not just your nephew, but you've got your own healing journey, right? So how did that shift how you see the body? Just give us a little snapshot of that too.
For sure. So when I said my first career was in radiology, we have 5 children. 3 of them are biological, 2 adopted. And in that transition point of adopting children, I stepped back from radiology, and in that time frame, I lost 70 pounds. And I was like, shut the front door. When I realized what stress was doing to my body, how it was affecting my body, and putting the nutrition back, having the time, taking the time, so whatever you want to be.
Let me just interrupt that. So that was because you left a job that was stressful that you probably didn't realize that was that stressful, not because you got the stress of adopting these lovely babies.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, people need to wake up and realize what is, if you're not in a position that is actually serving you, what is it actually doing to you? Right.
And a lot of times, like I said, wasn't paying attention because I loved my job. But being in a small community where you work your shift, you take your call, you may not get sleep, how that really does affect your body. And, that was definitely an eye opener. And I was like, dude, if I can do this with 5 kids in my house, I want to share this with other people. And yes, that was the beginning point. There's lots of learning curves and all the things. And then having stress come back into your body with situations, life happens, and having to pivot again and realize what you can do to support yourself.
Right. And so what was that major step that you took to support yourself?
I feel like there's a couple of different things, but really nurturing your body. When I was in radiology, I was like, I hate it when people say I'm too busy to eat because I liked food. But in the reality of it is, if you're not eating the proper nutrition at the proper timing, it does affect your body. So making sure that you're eating proteins, fats, and carbs every 3 to 4 hours is such a crucial thing, so that your body does not get overstressed and that cortisol is just going crazy.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't understand that component about food. They're always, they've always been told, you're eating too much. You need to eat less. You need to just not eat the sugar or whatever, but they're not understanding that you can actually use food to create hormonal balance when you're stabilizing your blood sugar. And then that brings down that inflammation. And it's the inflammation that's holding on to all that weight, right?
Right. And
So
that cortisol being pushed into the outer cells. We could go on for hours about
oh,
that.
for sure. Exactly. Right. Because I love it when, clinical practitioners that have a brick and mortar, that have people are coming to them. Well, I mean, you do both, but that you don't just send them away with, oh, here's a miracle product, or here's a prescription, or you give them a plan, right? Like you're talking about the food, so what do you recommend to your clients first when it comes to food?
First of all, we have the conversation like, what are they doing?
Mm,
How often are they eating? And then when people come to me, usually they're in fight or flight anyway. So making little shifts the first time, the first while. And sometimes it can be as simple as like drinking more water and less energy drinks or less
right.
caffeine. And then really being mindful of eating small portion protein, fats, and carbs every 3 to 4 hours. And I tell, especially women, as you're going through change, we have to be like babies again. We're so fragile. Like, let's nurture our bodies so that our bodies can serve us.
Absolutely. We need to go back to the way we were born into eating. We were born
Mhm.
that way, doing that for a reason. It got us going. It's got us thriving. It got us growing. Why would we stop doing that? Right. I never understood that. But we all did it because the,
For
the
sure.
world, the world just kind of told us that that's what we were supposed to do. Right. Um, and so I got to ask you this question about molecular activation. And we're switching gears a little bit here, but so what is molecular activation and how do you educate your patients on that? Like, what's the
Oh,
importance?
I love this. It's like, so molecular activation, what I have here is PEMA. So a
Okay.
lot of people have heard of PEMF, is pulse electromagnetic field.
Yes.
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's EMF. No, EMF, our cell phones have a negative energy on our bodies and around us. But the pulse part of it brings us back into balance. And it's frequencies that our body resonates with. So what I have here it's a cloud by Centropics that Dr. Kafka has created a new signal in 2020 that is absolutely phenomenal. And it's superimposition is one of the patents that our body cannot then get used to a signal. It's multiple signals. And what that does, I like to explain it as we charge our cell phones every day or every night so that we
Right.
have energy, they have energy to do their job the next day. Well, our bodies are energetic beings. We need energy. So if you lay on this molecular activation mat for 15 minutes, it's charging those cells so that our cells have that energy to do their job. When given the right tool, our bodies are geniuses. They can heal themselves.
Absolutely. And so what benefits, like when people are laying on this mat, how long do they have to lay on it? And what are they seeing once they've done this? Like how
So
many
in a
sort
perfect,
of how many like sessions do you have to do before you notice something?
everybody is different, and that's a hard answer, but
Yeah.
um 15 in a perfect world, everyone is going to own one of these so that they can utilize it twice a day in their own home. And the healthier that you are, a lot of people don't notice a little shifts as you go along, but the more unhealthy people actually tend to feel it within 15 minutes.
Okay.
And for me, when I got this, it was 3 years ago that I brought it in, and I had just had a brain issue where I had fallen and hit my head, and it really affected me. I wasn't able to walk down the stairs. I
Oh my.
wasn't able to see my members in the office after lunchtime. I literally felt like my brain was somewhere in another room. I could see them talking to me, but I was not connecting.
Oh wow.
Within 3 months of being on this molecular activation twice a day, every day, and they're subtle, right? So you're like, you don't see this like big aha moment, but within 3 months, I remember so vividly halfway down the stairs, and I was like, I'm walking down the steps like a normal person. And just as time goes on, I'm seeing more and more people. I'm able to navigate long hours. It was literally game changer for me.
Well, you literally got your life and your practice back.
Yep.
So how would that differ then? Because when you obviously had a concussion, right? And I've had one too, and I was treated with cold laser therapy, 3 different frequencies of cold laser. So again, it's a frequency, right? And so I'm just wondering, do you know how they differ? Or because that was a huge game changer for me.
Yep. I don't know all of the specifics on that for sure, but the cloud that I use, doing it every day, it continues to charge those cells, allows those pathways to do their jobs. I also know that when life is stressful, those symptoms come up, and then using the cloud, the molecular activation, more than just the 2 times is definitely beneficial.
Okay. Yeah. Because stress can really play a role in a lot of areas, right? And we think maybe and I had noticed that before too, with the recovery from that, like some days be going along just fine. And other days I know there's a word here, but I couldn't make it come out. Yeah. Right. And then I'd be thinking, well, and then you kind of, it's been a really busy day. Oh, okay. You kind of get those things, but yeah, those little teeny things that sort of interrupt your day can be not so teeny sometimes. Like going down the stairs is a big deal. You want to be able to do that properly. Oh my goodness.
And even this year, we go to a lot of ball games. I have 5 kids, so even if they're not playing, our kids know the kids, And as I'm just like running down the steps, I'm like, I am so grateful I could do this, because literally 3 years ago, I could not.
Yeah. And that's just so huge. And people need to understand. I'm so glad that you're sharing this, because I love it when women or anyone shares their stories of recovery, because I think people have to know that the body can heal. The body's we were designed to heal. We were not meant to live in dis-ease, right? And so
for sure.
And sometimes it's a combination of things. It can take several different modalities or whatever to hit the mark. But I think as long as we don't give up and we keep trying things to see what, and learning about different people's successes, that we can overcome and just restore that health in our bodies, because it's so super important, rather than just giving up and saying, I got to live with that. Right. Like I don't subscribe to any of that. And I don't think you do either.
No, I actually really dislike that when people are like, well, this is just how I'm going to be forever. And I'm like, no,
don't say that.
It does not have to be that way.
Oh my gosh. That's so sad when I hear people say that. Or I've heard people say, I've said, well, your DNA says that you can live till 120. And they'll say, I don't want to live that long. What do you mean? Well, they're picturing themselves old and frail and incapable and without their faculties. That's how they're thinking that they will end up. But it doesn't have to be.
Right.
So I just love sharing all these interesting recovery things that people have. So, okay. So what would you say to the overwhelmed mom though? So like the regular everyday overwhelmed mom who's exhausted, and maybe she doesn't even have 5 kids. Maybe she has 3 like me, but that was exhausting enough. And they just don't know where to start. What would you suggest for them?
Well, first of all, find someone that you trust and have that conversation, see what they have to offer. And gaining knowledge is power. So realizing that you can shift, things can shift. Sometimes, again, it can be as simple as drinking more water, fueling your body with the proteins, fats, and carbs. And then obviously there's a lot of people that need more than that. So finding someone, practitioner or provider that you can trust, then you can have those hard conversations and really dig deep into what is going on so that you can feel great and thrive and survive.
Awesome. So what would you say would be if someone were going into an appointment and they're like, I'm not sure if this person's going to work for me or whatever, what maybe couple questions should they always be asking of their doctor or of a new practitioner or something? Because I know, I don't know about in the United States, but here in Canada, you go for your appointment and now they've got signs on the wall. Please only ask 2 questions, no more than, and I'm like, what do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep spouting them off until I get the answers that I want if I go in. But if you're interviewing someone or looking for a new practitioner or, someone in natural health, what would you recommend that they ask?
I like to say the why question. So like you may have multiple things going on, but why? What is the why behind it? Like keep digging. Why is this going on? And I feel like that opens the door to more questions so that you can dig a little bit deeper.
Okay. And what would be a red flag if you're interviewing this person, talking to them, and what would be the red flag sort of answers that you would be like, sorry, we're not a good fit?
Well, for me to be a red flag to work with them would be if they're like, I'm just okay with this. I'm okay with how I am.
But what about for someone who wants to, first on the flip side, for someone who really wants to find the why, who wants to get to the root, who wants to improve their overall health and longevity, and they're trying to find a practitioner and they're asking these questions, like what would be the red flag if this person is like, for me, one of them would be, well, I don't know, but I can give you a prescription. That'd be one, like, or I don't really, I'm okay with, I don't know, but I'll find out. Yes. Or I can refer you to somebody who does X. I'm good with that, but I'm just not good with, where they're saying, well, we don't know about that anymore. Option. It's okay. I mean, that happens in your age group, or that happens to women, or that happens to men of this age or whatever. And so, I see a lot of that. But we have a prescription for you.
Prescription for those issues that those bring. And, it just compounds and compounds. That is definitely a red flag for sure. And another one is if the provider is not willing to listen, kind of in a hurry and just like push you to the next station or whatever that is, not a good fit.
No, definitely not a good fit. So thank you for that, because I think people need to hear that. I've helped a few of my clients. I've been supporting them in finding new doctors. And so this is just one question that just popped into my head just now, because it really took a lot for them to realize, oh, hey, like they're not actually serving me. Like they were frustrated and they're telling me about all of these things. And so I'm like, okay, well, that doctor is not serving you. Like they're really not addressing any of your things. And you need to apply, you need to, get another doctor. And I've helped a few people do that, and they're much healthier now. Interesting, right?
I love that.
Yeah, because if someone's not going to serve you and they're not going to listen to you, you're the ultimate knower of what's going on in your body, really. Even if you don't know the science of why this is happening, people have to listen to what you're saying about how you're feeling, because that's you.
Advocate for yourself, because in the long run, no one else will.
No, that's for sure. And it's very sad, but it's true. So you guys got to speak up, be loud. And if they're quashing you down and telling you to be quiet, move on, find someone different.
For sure.
What's one thing you want more women to understand about their bodies?
That you're not broken. Mm-hmm. Your body is telling you something.
I love that. And if she's feeling stuck, what would you tell her?
Well, keep going to get answers. Like, is that advocating for yourself, searching for something else, really educating yourself and asking really good questions.
And I would also maybe tag onto there, see if you agree with me on this, about belief in yourself, about that your self-worth. Because a lot of times, especially as women, especially as moms, we tend to put, the husband, the dog, the neighbor, the kids, the job, whatever, in this pecking order. And we are like way at the back somewhere. And, if it had to do with, our children or our husband or helping someone at church or whatever, we would be right there doing it. But then when it comes to, it probably looks like I should do X, Y, and Z for myself, or I need to source out this for myself. It's like, oh, I don't have time for that.
100%. Our brain is powerful. And, if we look at ourselves as things going on, there's traumas, toxins, and thoughts. And thoughts are 90% of what can boil down to issues or
I like
dis-ease.
that. 3 T's: traumas, toxins, and thoughts. So it seems like there's a lesson in there somewhere. Do you use that for your clients in some sort of?
Yeah, we talk about that a lot. Just that whole, and traumas can be all sorts of things. It can be physical, emotional, and then toxins, again, what's going on really and truly, and getting to those root issues on the physical side. And then our thoughts.
Right. Because thoughts play a huge role, and they can be toxic and they can be traumatic. So they can sort of activate, I think, all of those pathways because, as the mind goes, the body follows, right? With epigenetics. So I think I love that you are talking to your patients about actually what they think about and what they eat. Interesting. I saw a post one day that said, if your doctor is not asking you what you eat, what your daily routines are, your exercise, and things like that, there's a little list, and just giving you a prescription, you don't have a doctor, you have a drug dealer. So I love it that we're not interviewing any drug dealers on my show.
Me too.
Right? But you do use natural health products as well, right? To supplement and fill in those gaps.
Yep.
So alongside the mat and oh my goodness, I forgot the actual word for that. The electrodermal screening.
Yeah.
What else do you use to help your clients get to, once you've got to the root, help them to come back to where they should be?
So with the electrodermal screening, we are able to see where, for example, if there's lymphatic congestion. And lymphatic congestion is, in the interstitium space, where, again, things get stuck. Is it emotions? Is it toxins? But what we then do for that is using, it's called a LymphStar Pro machine, but it's making sure the lymphatic exits are open, the deep lymphatic exits are open, and then using the machine to help guide that lymphatic fluid to the exits. And that has been really phenomenal to see people get rid of. It's kind of like a jump start to getting rid of those toxins, and then using those customized nutrition, using those supplements to fill in those gaps and help next level it.
Right. And so what, for people who don't really know, what is lymphatic drainage going to help with, or what have you seen it help with?
Yeah. So lymphatic, the deep lymphatic decongestive therapy really helps with moving that inflammation to the exit. So descending colon is, even though people are pooping every day, does not mean that you're actually getting rid of the toxins that need to get out. And then the cisterna chyli, which is a large lymph node in your chest, making sure that lymph node is also open, and it's not like a full trash can that people keep throwing their trash into and it's boiling over and all the things. So making sure those exits are open, and then the body, again, is genius. It just naturally lets things go.
So would that be like for healing from disease, or do people with cancer benefit from that, or like autoimmune, like who would benefit from those? I mean, I know everyone would benefit from, I'm just kind of thinking about maybe specific people that might have an issue.
All people, literally. And people with, even one of my girls has acne, sometimes really bad. And so even just doing the lymphatic allows those toxins out of the face to move down.
Oh, cool. Okay. And how important is gut health in your whole conversation with your clients?
That's the foundation. Everything is happening. I mean, like, you've got, even for brain health, we got to look at the gut. And that gut does not just mean the large intestine and the small intestine. I mean, you have your stomach, you have your lymphatics, you have your liver, spleen, gallbladder, like all the things from here to here, really do affect. And then also having the cellular energy, that's why that cloud comes in so important, because we can be doing all these things, but if the actual cells do not have the energy to do their job, they're not uptaking that nutrition. They're not uptaking those extra supplementation. So having that frequency to give those cells the energy so that they can take on all that nutrition.
Oh, wonderful. So that actually allows for better absorption and metabolization and delivery.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. So can people get those mats themselves? Do they have to go to a clinic? Can you just buy them on Amazon? Like how do people get them?
I love that question. First of all, no, you cannot get it on Amazon, but it is an investment in your health for sure. People can contact me and I can totally get them to the correct location. They come out of Liechtenstein and they are, there's lots and lots of research. We actually have a huge study of over 400 people it has been done that they looked at stress. They've looked at all sorts of different things, but using the cloud for 15 minutes, they have in this survey noticed that a large percentage of people have decreased stress, decreased cortisol, and thriving just within a 3-month period.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So where can people find you? Where's the best place to find you?
purposefulhealth.net is my website. And then you can call on my website. There's my phone number. You can book a free consult. Or even just Facebook, message me.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Everyone's on Facebook. The easiest way to find you, right? And we'll also put your stuff in the show notes as well too, for sure. So, okay, if there's one thing one piece of wisdom that you'd love to leave our listeners with, what would it be?
Trust yourself because your body is genius and believe that it can heal.
Awesome. I love that. All right. Thank you for joining me here today, Rachel. It has been a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully we'll get you back again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks again for tuning in to the Fit Woman podcast today. I hope you found some value here. Before you go, just a quick reminder, for any products, supplements, tools, or resources mentioned in today's episode, you can find everything over on my website. Just head on over to fuelignitethrive.com. That's fuelignitethrive.com and click on the shop favorites. I've linked the exact brands and products that I personally use and recommend to my clients. So it's super simple, no guesswork. The one exception is peptides. So for any questions on the peptides, please email me at Tania@fuelignitethrive.com. That's Tania, Tania at fuelignitethrive.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.